So I called Kevin up and I said, what if I start making 100 a week? Can you use, oh yeah, no problem. So, between me, my partner in crime, Beth, and Kevin, and Deb, and everyone else that works with Mission Dawgs, by the end of this year, we are on track to hand out probably over 5,000 sack lunches between Marietta and Atlanta homeless.
The city of Atlanta says 500 chronically homeless people and 300 homeless families in the Peachtree Pine shelter will be humanely relocated.
People ain't in shelters because they want to be in shelters. They're in shelters because they can't afford to be in anywhere else.
If you're homeless, one of the constant struggles is having a place to stay every day that's safe and that you're allowed.
Even before you started doing this type of work, had you done any experience working with homelessness before?
No.
Did you have all right then, that's even better. Did you have any sort of concept or, stereotypical thoughts in your mind of what homelessness was, what the people might be like? Not to say that you were judging them, but did you have like what were your thoughts of homelessness?
So, my thoughts of homelessness back then were, oh, poor, pitiful, sad people. They don't have a home. And then I would get into the judgmental part of, well, why don't they have a home? Why don't they work? Are they all crazy?
My perception of the homeless at first was probably drug and alcohol abuse. Not real sure, did they cut their family ties? Had they burned that bridge? Because why hadn't their family let them, continue to stay?
I was out here homeless for 2 years after moving here 3,000 miles away. So then I moved to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, then I moved back here after my whole family died. When my whole family died is when I learned when everything was important. I learned what was important, I learned what mattered. Being real, being honest, and being true to yourself.
What happened to me, I got homeless because Cobb County locked the people up for no reason, will make you lose everything once you get locked up for 30 days or more. Because you don't have anyone to bun you out unless you have Kevin here, his number, who I just met, so now I can get him to bun me out and get me for criminal trespassing over here.
This one, and this one are mine. I'm going to put them behind the dumpster and I'll pick them up after the grill cools down. Okay? And y'all just leave the grill until it cools down. I spent a lot of time walking the streets of Atlanta and finding them and talking to them until they got used to me. I wore the same hat every time. It was my siren, big old floppy red hat with a G on it. Everybody knew when they saw that hat it was me, and then they started remembering my name. And they knew I wasn't going to hurt them. They knew I was there to give them a cigarette or give them a cigar or give them whatever they, give them something, feed them. And just kind of started building relationships, and then I started doing more and more food. And in doing food, I started telling them I'm going to be at Little Five Points at 12 o'clock on Tuesday. I'm going to be at Barrett Street in Ponce de Leon at 12:45 on Tuesday. I'm going to be at Renaissance Park at 1:15 on Tuesday. And I stuck to those times for a good long time, and now I don't have to go looking. All I do is get out of the car and take whatever leftover food somebody's given me from a restaurant, from a party, from bag lunches that churches have made, and every Tuesday and Thursday we're downtown and we have food for them and drinks, and we've got a little niche.
But we ran out of meals one day, and I told Kevin, I'll make a few peanut butter and jelly sandwiches so we'll have something to hand out if we run out of meals from the church. So I made 20 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Did it again the next week, and then Kevin says, do you think you could do 40 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Okay, sure. So I did 40 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and we packed them in paper bags, and we put a napkin, and we put chips in there. So a few weeks later, Kevin says, do you think you could do 60 sack lunches? Because then I can take some downtown also. So 60 turned to 80. And I was working on my 80 sack lunches, and then I started multiplying out, and I'm like, dang, you know, with Mission Dawgs out of my kitchen, we're going to feed 4,000 people this year. And I heard this little voice of God say, why don't you feed 5,000? So I called Kevin up and I said, what if I start making 100 a week? Can you use, oh yeah, no problem. So, between me, my partner in crime, Beth, and Kevin, and Deb, and everyone else that works with Mission Dawgs, by the end of this year, we are on track to hand out probably over 5,000 sack lunches between Marietta and Atlanta homeless.
I think once you start coming, I think for most people they enjoy it. It's very easy to get involved. Just need to ask.